DJ radios, trenches on the radio, 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 DJ radios, trenches on the radio, 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 radio. Yo, static hits like a corner store prophet, spitting truth through the speaker, no profit. 92 BPM, knocking boots on the concrete. Why the feds trace signals they can't delete? Horn stab cut, that's the truth in the cut. Crypto flickering green while the world's on shut. Ain't no playlist, this a frequency war. Tune in or vanish like cash through a door. DJ radio, stretches on the radio. Radio, 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 radio. Stretches on the radio, stretches on the radio. Radio, 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 radio. DJ radio, stretches on the radio. Radio, 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 radio. Stretches on the radio, stretches on the radio. Radio, 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 radio. Stretches on the radio, stretches on the 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 radio.
Hello and welcome, guys, to the first show of the Beans Bulletin. This is a Beans and Legend production, and it's great to have everyone here. So it's going to be a layout show for you tonight with two guests who represent the NFT music narrative in the space. We are joined up top with our host, Franco, and myself, co-host Shane Burkett, and also the dev of the Legend token, JR. So it's great to have you all here. How are you doing, Franco?
I'm doing good, man. Excited. Let's go.
No, it's great. So I've just basically wanted to kind of explain to the way the show's going to flow. So we've only having two guests in here today. We're just going to give you 20 minutes a piece just to kind of break down what you've got going currently, what you've got coming up in the short term, and a little bit about your background and how you got into crypto. The reason why we're doing these shows for anyone listening is to actually start putting a visual to people no longer hiding behind PFPs. But what also is amazing is that we can actually stream out across multiple platforms all at the same time simultaneously, and live radio. Nowhere else does that. We're offering it for wide visibility for any project or any guest to come up, or even any TikTok influencer who wants to share a space with people with a common interest. So this is what the Beans Bulletin is going to do. There's no kind of restrictions in what anyone can say. It's a free flowing show, and it's going to be really amazing. So before we get underway, I just want to say hello to Rocky 2 Grimy. Thank you very much for coming here, mate.
He's eating, man. Let him eat, man.
I'm here, man. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, mate.
Yeah, I'm here, man. Appreciate y'all for having me, man. I'm still I'm waiting on this damn food. Now they're late, like that, and I'm hungry. They're running a little late, but I'm here, man. I appreciate y'all. I'll be coming off of the camera and everything when it's my turn, but I'm here vibing out with y'all, man.
No, it's great to have you. Thank you for taking the time to come up. Mose, great to meet you, mate.
Yeah, I'm having issues, so I apologize.
Yeah, no worries at all. Mose, are you there? Might have his mic on.
What's going on, Mose?
We'll just give him a couple of minutes to kind of get into the swing of things. So as we go through this show, there's a couple of key aspects to highlight. The way that the shows are going to run down the line, it's going to be built up of 8 positions within the show. We're going to have a sponsor who basically gets the limelight, you know, names in titles and showcased and getting longer pitch periods. There's going to be 3 panelists, and they stay for the full duration of the show, and they give feedback on what the shillers and the sponsor has to say, as well as having a pitch for a shorter duration than what the sponsor would have. But again, it's wider visibility than what the shiller would get. They only get between 3 to 5 minutes to showcase themselves, but this is perfect. This is perfect because not everybody can have that time to come on to a show for a long duration, and we've got to facilitate that. So it's going to be good because there's going to be 5 panelists as well at this, 4 panelists, sorry, at the same time, and that's how we're going to fill shows out down the line. And you know, across multiple social platforms at the moment is key. That visibility is massive because projects are so thinly spread across different platforms. No longer is any, like, all projects aren't situated in one place anymore. You're able to hit multiple audiences all at the same time, and also you get the communities of all them projects who come in to support, who you're also getting visibility into and making connections with the projects you're up on stage with at the same time. You know, what you do away from the show with one another, that's completely up to you, but you get a real deep dive in an insight into a project because they're highlighting the key aspects of that of their own project. But yeah, I believe being able to see someone's face while you're talking to them, you know, is a really key aspect instead of just a PFP, you know, and that's kind of like why we're doing it. It's a way to build relationships, but it's also more importantly to get that visibility we had by now. So, how you doing, Mose?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm sorry, Rocky was talking about food and then the audio cut out. Like, I'm not even hungry. Like, I just ate a taco. Like, what's going on here?
The talker food got you hungry though, right?
Yeah, man, I'm like hungry again. I'm like, Rocky, it's your fault. But yeah, I can hear you guys now. I'm back. I'm back in the fold. Welcome live from my garage. You know, is where I like to hang out, and I'll be smoking out here and stuff like that. So I don't smoke in the house. But
No,
what's up?
that's great. No, it's great. Like I say, it's great to have you. We're just going to really start off with just giving a bit of an explanation about yourself. You know, your background, where you're from, what got you into the space, and why music. Like, why is music so key to you?
Right. So my story is very unique. You know, my music journey started from, you know, the pain of loss is what started my music journey, because I needed an avenue to discuss it without having to lay on someone's couch. The booth became my therapy.
Is he cutting out for everyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
I mean,
Oh, you came in then for a sec.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
mate.
you know.
Okay, I just turned my Wi-Fi off. I was just like, maybe it's an issue inside. Um, I don't know the last thing you heard me say, so I'll just start over. My name is Mose Calloway. I'm from Syracuse, New York. I am 43 years old. I started making music at the age of 37, 6 years ago. It started for me. My wife was dying of breast cancer. She died January 29th, 2020. And on February 1st, I just started making music. And I couldn't stop. It became therapy. I thought about sitting on someone's couch and the type of money I could spend sharing my pain and then letting someone else write my life story. That's what it came down to me for me. And I decided to get in the booth, and that became my therapist. Today I have 1,670 something songs that I've written and recorded. They're in my vault. I create music from grief, from the pain of loss. And I've healed from that, and now music is my happy place. I have to stay there to be who I am. How I got into Web3, 2022, around September, I met a guy. His name was Mental Stamina. He had a project called hiphop.game. And he invited me to this project to be a part of an event called the Lyric Olympics. And with the Lyric Olympics, he found 19 communities such as yourselves. And what they did was they drafted musical artists to come in and write them theme songs. That's why I call myself the Mad Themer, because I was the number one pick. I was drafted by the Goyles, which is a project that I most recently took over, and it's a link that I shared with you guys. And that's when I got to meet a gentleman by the name of Jay Connects, who now runs the Quakey Nation. So there you see that connection between myself and Quakey. I wrote theme songs for Goyles. And then when Jay struck off on his own to become Mr. Stay Connected, I wrote him a theme song called Stay Connected. I created a sneaker called the Stay Connected 24s. It's 2024. My entrance into the NFT space was by coincidence, to be honest with you. But I learned, I patiently waited and built something for myself in this space. And I'm excited to talk with you guys about it.
No, that's great. That's amazing. And I like that it was some sort of therapy for you, and that was the way that you came around music, because I think when people go through pain, hearing someone with words is really strong, and it can resonate with a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. And I'm just really happy, that was a healer for you, and it's probably good for you as well to be putting thoughts into words as well, and memories at the same time, not just the pain aspect of it.
Right.
So I love that, despite the fact that it's through something quite painful, I love that you've been able to kind of overcome it to a certain extent, or if not fully, but
That's the Dear
through,
Vicky right there.
through music.
Dear Vicky is the album that I created. It's a vinyl project that I created for my wife. Dropped it last summer. And as I'm building on my website, it's you can't purchase it now, but in the next few weeks you will be able to. I'm just ironing out some kinks. But it's up there, it's live, for anyone that I share the link with. So take a gander, cruise around, and we'll be adding more things and functionable buttons there soon.
So where's that going to be positioned to be purchased?
Launch my NFT.
Right, brilliant.
That's where we drop our NFTs. That's a platform that was created for you to easily drop music. NFT music is, they're assets. You think of them as assets, not just music, but music is an asset. It's something that you can create generational wealth from. It's something that can hold value the same as a house or a car. Without depreciating in value, it only increases in value as the artist increases in value. So that's why, NFTs are important on this aspect, because it allows us to tap directly within our community. You don't need millions of streamers, 1,000 folks can create an amazing life for any artist who has dedicated super fans.
Yeah. Everyone hear me all right still? I feel like I'm acting up.
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, that's good. No, like I say, sorry, I'm really sorry for your loss, but
you guys having a hard time hearing me still?
No, you're perfectly good, mate. But like I say, I don't really know a great deal about NFTs personally, so to have you two guys here to kind of explain it and the reasonings behind why you release the NFT collections that you do, it gives good kind of purpose to it, and I kind of see why people do it. I mean, everyone has a different reason, right? But I think yours is a well-justified reason to do it.
That's the Still Connected series that I did on Launch My NFT with Jay Connects and the Digi Joints crew. We dropped that in June, right before NFT NYC, and I believe we have about 280 mints on that. You know, at $5 a pop. You think of like music and streams. You know, they only pay you like a percentage of a penny per stream. So you know, you got to think about what a $5 NFT 200 something times would equate to in the form of streaming data. You know, that's something that's going to be coming out with relation to NFTs as far as like market value to value and why one's may be better than the other and more realistic. Can't really cheat the NFT process because it's all on chain. You know, a buy is a buy, unless you're giving them away for free. But people can still list them and create value out of them as well. Definitely excited to talk to you guys about NFTs and, how this space has, kind of like
I love that, man.
Yeah, I really, really appreciate you taking the time to come on and go through your story on Solana as well. Has Solana always been a preference of you for the chain that you maneuver
and
on?
that music that's on those sites, you can play it, directly. It'll allow you to play a full song, as they're minted. Those are the NFTs that are minted, which you're seeing right there.
Are you hearing me, Mosaic?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, no, I was just checking. No, I really, really, really appreciate you taking the time. I just, in regards to what's coming for you in the short term, have you got anything upcoming that you're able to share for people who listen in down below?
Okay, I can see your mouth moving, but it's so crazy because I don't hear anything. So I guess
You can
there's
hear
been
him? I can
literally
hear him,
I've been
man.
hearing silence this whole time, which is why I
So,
keep.
what do you
I
have?
can hear you. I can hear you now. Whoever's
Okay.
talking, but the guy in the middle, Shane,
Shane.
your mic cuts out. I can see your mouth moving as if you're talking.
Can you hear me, Franco?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear you.
we
Yeah,
can.
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
can
can't
hear
hear
you.
you.
I didn't miss a part of what you were saying, man.
Say that again.
I didn't miss any part of
And
what
look,
you were
this is
saying.
what
I
I'm
heard
gonna do.
everything.
Yeah, I knew that I lost
I'm gonna
connection with
copy
Mose when I
this,
was asking the questions and
send it
giving
to
feedback,
myself
and I
on
wasn't
my
getting
other
anything
phone.
back.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
And I think that might.
Maybe somebody else, can take
Yeah,
over with asking the
Mose,
questions.
he was asking if you had anything coming up in the future, any projects you're working on.
Oh yes, I am working on a project called Enter the Blackness. It's going to be an ode to one of my favorite movies of the 1980s, The Last Dragon. Um, it's a soundtrack that
Great
was
movie.
produced by Barry Gordy. So Enter the Dragon, or The Last Dragon. My album's going to be called Enter the Blackness. What I loved about that album was that there was 10 tracks with 10 different voices. You had Stevie Wonder, you had Vanity, The Temptations, El DeBarge on that project. And it wasn't hip hop, it wasn't a pop, it wasn't a rap album. It was a very eclectic mix of music, to create a vibe. So I'm looking to create a vibe, Enter the Blackness. And there will be 10 different artists on there to, explain the blackness from their own perspective to create this album. Love to collaborate with my brother Rocky 2 Grimy on that. I'm going to be talking to the artists that I want on the project over the next few weeks. I've just taken the time to choose the tracks that we're going to be using to fit the voices that I'm looking to have on this project. And then on top of that, I'll be adding 5 tracks of my own, an intro, an outro, a middle track, and 2 collaborations to add to that to make a 15-track album called Enter the Blackness. That will be launching this summer and after June.
No, amazing. Have you two collaborated before? JR, gonna have to word it.
No, me and Mose, we've talked about it. We've always talked about it, but we've never pulled the trigger until just recently.
And has Mose ever worked with Grimy and done anything together before as well? That's what I was meaning, JR. You asked the question.
Oh, hey, Mose, have you and Rocky ever collaborated on a song in the past?
No, we haven't collaborated on a song, but we've dissed each other on music. So that music's out there, but it's all for the love of the game, right?
Right.
I have nothing but love for my brother Rocky. We don't have any type of animosities or hate towards each other. But it was an opportunity for us to sharpen our swords a little bit, and it was a good fit for the community. I think they enjoyed it, but it wasn't nothing that we released, or nothing that we're like harboring on. But we have music that we can collaborate on.
No, that's great. Oh,
Good.
right. What we'll
Jose,
do
we
is
got
now.
somebody backstage that had the link from you, Sassy Treasure.
I'm logging into my other phone now, and let's see if I can't get the sound back. I'll just stay on with both profiles because I
Yeah,
can
go
Nice.
ahead.
hear other voices on here, but I can't hear everyone.
That's good. That's weird, man.
Can we put up a video, Franco, of him in action
Yeah, we
doing
can
his
put on,
music?
Mic check.
Yeah, we can hear you, Mose.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you say something, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Perfect. Yes. All right, we're
nice.
back. We're
No,
back.
it's all good. Like I said, this is why we're doing the test run, really, just to kind of, see how things work. And yeah, my main question, I was giving you your flowers first and foremost, obviously with that back history of to why you've got into music. It's very purposeful, and it's great that it's helped you kind of somewhat, recover from a loss. Maybe not recover's the word, but it's eased that pain. And also, like, I think it's great that you're working with the Quaker community. They're a brilliant project, and they've got some brilliant individuals in amongst that who I've had communications with in the past, and you know they're very, very tight knit, and they look after each other. In the space, you kind of come across bad actors, as you would put it, and it's kind of important in a place like this to highlight the good ones, because you're going to get many listeners, and it's directing them into them projects, and Quakey is definitely one of them. So it's great to know that you're kind of somewhat contributing to that project as well at the same time.
Absolutely. Jay will tell you all the time, I've helped them, just be there. Quakey on the rise, that's a catchphrase. I created that in the music. Quakey wakey, that's a catchphrase. I created that in the music. And I didn't harbor it. I told him use it, roll with it, run with it, because it's yours at the end of the day. Quakey wasn't my project. I didn't create it. I just wrote a theme song for it. I like to create music. So it gave me an opportunity to add to what they had. So this 7-song project, this PFP that you're looking at is a MP4. It moves. The song is called Fever. You know, it's like I got a fever for that Quakey. It's like I'm sick when it goes down, but I'm better when it goes up. But right now we're in a Quaker fever. Because it's been a down period. So that song was created from that. And it's a very good song. It's a short song. It's like I call it an interlude. It's like in the middle of the album. There's a 7-song project. That's song number 4, and in the rotation.
No, have you sent the link over for your music with you rapping to to Franco?
We got that ready,
Yeah,
man.
you
This
can
is
you can
Yeah,
actually
let's.
you can actually play that song right there.
yeah,
Just
no, it's ready, man. It's ready to play.
hit
Yeah, let's
play,
do it. I'm
catch the
Let's do
beat.
it,
interested.
man.
Oh yeah, we on that company shit. Big CEO and big aqua business. We live from the barber shop. We about to go right in though. This is how we living. Hit 'em up, got that fever. Yo, they want my way so bad, but can't surf. Not willing to take lessons, I know it must hurt. You thought you was a bad one, a Molly in the perk. All we do is smoke weed, man. All y'all do is work. We watch y'all tweet, and then we make up a dance. Put it on the internet, then we watch the crowd enhance. And the eyes picking up the mood, you surely do inspire. And understand I make the money, you never ask for higher. Now you're straight for higher stakes. Thought you cats had the motion until we pump the brake. Yo, how that feel? Momentum stop like bullet shell. When it hit the target, Shrapnel, Splinter, Infidel. Who cast the word spell? I broke the bell. I only see the top, investing in the stock and buying low when the price drop. I revert back to the day we met and walked right past you. Just so the feelings that I had did outlast you. How I'm moving right past you. All the pain, I'ma be the last fool and read too. Choose a better way. Hey, nothing crazy other doing shit the same way. Consistent with the same way I'm bearing fruit. The apple of the eye isn't so rotten to a clean tooth. For real though, and all these women that be busting on the side can't get a good man, cause they got the stuff to hide. Can't leave a nigga side dick, got 'em acting hot. All the while you been that good guy. You could have been that other guy. We all fall for the vicious cycle. Moonwalking Michael, they kill a woman's only die for a real nigga. A real nigga.
If you can hear it, that song's all about transitions, right? You know, it's like I'm writing this song from the Jake Next perspective, right? He's been through a lot projects before he found his own project, you know. And it's like when you lose something, right? Kind of makes you sick until you get better. And when you lose something, you only get better when you find something else. So that was kind of like the parallel between that song. And the crazy part is that that song was for both projects. Like I wrote an 11-song project for the Gremlins. We released it on OpenSea, and then I was unceremoniously stabbed by a couple of heroin addicts 2 weeks after we dropped the project. And it kind of killed the momentum because I was just down. I couldn't promote it. I couldn't do anything. I was sick, bro. I had a fever. And the project kind of dwindled out and the partners separated. It was a transition. The songs for both projects because it was an original and I just didn't want my music to go to waste. So I restyled it and used it again because it still meant the same thing to me.
No, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And with them words that you're saying there about obviously, people can have negative experiences and sometimes you just need to reposition yourself somewhere else, what you can like truly call home, like a safe haven. I think everybody in the space has pretty much experienced that to a certain extent. And like I say, that's quality, and I'm glad that you actually, were able to use that, and it didn't go to waste because, I can imagine it takes a lot of time and effort to produce something like that. Whether you just like, I don't know, like I say, I've got no music background, but I mean, time is money, and yeah, I'm glad that you were able to make the most of it, and you've probably made a hell of a lot of people happy with this content that you've been able to build.
Yeah, absolutely. Time is money, and money was spent on the project. It's like when I was taking over the project, it was not necessarily the money aspect in it, but that was definitely a talking point because it's 11 songs. I chose 11 tracks. I paid for 11 tracks. Let's say each track costs 200. Then the recording of each track takes an hour. It's 11 tracks, spending $60 an hour for my engineer. Then it costs $100 to mix and master each track. It's 11 tracks. You know, it's like there's a lot of cash spent on the project, and you know that came from me. I invested in myself to invest in this. I didn't want
Yeah.
it to go to waste. You know, I saw value there that maybe no one else did because music is timeless. So for me, it's not owed. It's only owed to me because I made it. It's new to anyone else that's going to listen to it for the first time. So I didn't want to lose value in my art. We came to terms and I took over the project so I can revitalize it my way. The prior owner has no connection at all outside of a percentage, you know, first round for turning it over. But you know, I've already invested in it. So
No,
just
it's
like,
great
you know,
though, because it by investing your own money into something, it shows intent, but it shows real conviction as well that you know you're moving in the right way. And like for Beans, we're exactly the same. Like Franco, the host up on top there, you know, he invests his own money to build out what Beans is, because he's got the conviction. He knows it's going to work. He knows it's going to happen.
right,
And you know, good projects do that. Whereas you get some projects in this space that have zero budget, no ideas, and it's just a case of launching a token and hoping that you know it bites. And these are the kind of the projects we're wanting to move people away from. You know, you invest in the good projects that are there for a purpose, not the quick pump and dumps.
right,
And like that's the same aspect for you. You know, people can come to you, you know, maybe want some sort of music because you spend that time, you make that money, you know, you spend money in doing what you're doing, and you deliver to like a quality standard. Um, and I think honestly, I think people like watching, you know, who do have projects, you probably get some people reaching out to you for work, you know, possibly, which I think you know they do right by, and that would probably be the same for Grimy as well. It's brilliant, brilliant artists. Love it.
and and all the time, you know, and I know you mentioned earlier that you guys aren't necessarily NFT guys, but you understand how money works, right? You may understand how stocks work. When people ask me what's the difference between one or the other, I tell them nothing. In theory, it's all the same thing. It's just different platforms. You know, one's a 24-hour clock and one has an opening and closing bell. You know,
Mm.
one allows you to get in early, another allows you to get in late. You know, it's like once you start weighing out the pros and cons of the system, you realize that one is in its infancy still and still growing. Look at market caps, right? And when people ask me, like, well, what do I do? I said, look, invest in crypto. Like, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there. And they say, why? I said, because the market caps are low. Every crypto has a low market cap. To a
Mm.
person that's been in crypto, they'll not think that way. But for a person that just understands just simple ass shit, it's the same shit.
Mm.
So it's like if I'm looking at trillion-dollar market caps and Fortune 500 companies that need public money to invest in it, isn't that the same thing as crypto? They may not have trillion-dollar market caps, but 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now, they will have trillion-dollar market caps. So I say, imagine if you could have put into Apple or Microsoft on like day one, day 10, day 30.
Mm.
Most times these
Yeah.
people don't even get to invest in this shit until like day 700. Once it's been like 2 years past and they've already like, you know, got the people that they want in there and they want to start profiting out, they go public.
Well, that's what we say to our own community. You know, like the market cap is just it's an entry point, but some people are always hesitant, no matter what the token is, because they're wanting to get in lower and lower and lower, and that lower may never come. And
Right.
you know, it's a bad mindset to be in. Like it's a nice to do, but sometimes you miss out. And to be fair, it's more painful for me to miss out and have no entry than just some sort of entry positioning in something. So um, I completely agree with you. There is absolutely no difference, and it was me personally that has no kind of knowledge of NFTs as a whole. Like I see people around me buying them, and I've just never done it. Um, I've just never known what the reasoning behind building them is. But this is why I'm doing these kind of shows as well with Franco, because it's a chance for me to be educated. And just hearing your story, I can completely understand why you've done it as it is, because it's positioning it like an asset, an NFT there, which isn't just as a visual, but it has a message, and a message that could help an individual by replaying it over and over again. You
Yeah, and
know, and that
especially
could be their recovery.
Right.
especially music NFTs. I am in NFTs, and our brother Axios wants it also. He's also big in NFTs, and I'm big in NFTs with utilities, and I think music NFTs are the future. I think it brings so much to the table. It's not only a piece of art. It's a utility to give the artists back the power to release their own music. That's one thing, but how we listen music now is not all right. You know, with streaming, you go through the list, you listen to song, now next. You know, back in the day, we had a CD or something. You bought a CD, you took it home. You were so proud of the music. You know, you had that CD from, I know, my first CD of Cypress Hill, shit like that. You know, you were so proud of it, and you listened to it. And even if it was shitty CD, you listen to it, and you build up a collection. And that's ownership of the music, you know, and that makes you proud of the music and respect the music way more. And I think NFTs is the future it's the new MP3. You know, we could download MP3s nowadays. You can, I don't know where I can download MP3s, man. That's shitty. And NFTs has the power to be the new MP3. You know, be the new thing. You build up a collection. It has artwork. You can add a video or something like that. And I think that's powerful, man. It gives the consumer the power to own music again, to have that ownership, to be proud of the music, respect the art way more, and it gives the artist the power to make their own money and get rid of the big companies that pretty much drain you, and that's powerful, man. That's I've been in music all my life since I was 11, and I'm now also 43. I had my own record label together with my whole.
Franco might have froze there.
Yeah.
I still got you
Nah,
guys.
he's definitely hitting on some great points. You know, when I think about, you know, the coming into the space for my first music NFT was a Bitcoin asset. I dropped it on Counterparty. I dropped it when Bitcoin was 16,000 and 2023, still 16,000 before it boomed. And I dropped that NFT, and now that music today at 16 is worth over what, 69? It's been 120 per project, and I only sold 100 of them out of 315. I actually held back a portion just to wait for myself to continue to grow. You know, so you hit it right there on the head.
Yeah, basically all music streaming happens through what, like Spotify, YouTube, Apple. So yeah, you're really bringing back the ownership of the music and putting it in their hands.
Well,
Yeah. What too?
200 NFTs, right? At $5, over $1,000. That's one song. It's one song. 10 times, that's $10,000. That's an album. And I might have 300 holders out of that whole scenario, 400 holders out of that whole scenario, $10,000 for 10 tracks. How many streams do I need to achieve to make $10,000 off of an album?
Yeah, that's a
And
lot of streams, man.
it's in the tens of
Right.
millions, brother.
Yeah, over 10
Tens
million
of
probably.
millions. So it just lets you know the game that they're playing isn't the same game that we have to play. I don't need 10 million listeners, 1,000 super fans, 500 super fans. And this space allows for you to grow because everything's on chain. There's no bots that can spoof your freaking NFT sales. Yeah, you can have bots that spoof your numbers in the chat, but they can't spoof your NFT sales because if I got bots buying my shit, I would be happy. I do not care.
I like the loyalty aspect to it as well. If you have a holder, then more than likely to be buying up them NFTs every single time a different track's on there, and they'll probably follow you for a long, long time. And you've got no, like I say, you've got no chart to worry about. I suppose that's another good aspect where it raises concerns for the people who are buying them. There's no mess around it. It's just the music, the NFT, and you that they have the connection with. So I get that. It makes complete sense.
Yeah, and you also don't need a record label that's going to take majority of the money, right? Yeah, Shane, I'm getting your nose breathing in the mic.
I love that.
Yeah,
no, we can hear him.
It's all good.
No, it's good. Have you got any feedback, Action?
Yeah, Go ahead, bro.
No, I thought he asked if I had feedback, but go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, you don't have you're taking control of the business, right? You're not using a record label that's gonna scalp a majority of the money, right? Like, I mean, we're seeing a big movement. I mean, Taylor Swift just fucking got rid of her record label. All these musicians are trying to get out of that situation because it's shitty, and they control you. They basically own the music, and now you own the music, and then in turn you're selling it to someone, and now they actually own the music, and they're not just like reliant on a streaming service that could pull that music at any time. So, I mean, there's definitely something there. And I mean, like you were saying, just the money. I know you're not doing it for money, but it does cost money to make music. So it's only natural for you to want to recoup some of those investments. So yeah, I mean, there's opportunity for everyone. And then, especially if you're limiting the number of NFTs you're selling to that low number, like there's huge potential for someone, right? Like, I mean, you'll see if someone has like a record from fucking 1960, 70 or whatever, and it still works, that's worth some money, right?
Right. Yes, it is. And record labels used to give you money. And just like any investor, they'd want 10x on return on their investment. It's this industry is ripe with money mismanagement on all sides. Because you have record labels upon record labels upon record labels, and it's an entire tree of labels that lead to the person that's actually making the music. We eliminate all of that. We thrive off of collaborations. I'm very fair. I believe that my producer deserves 50% for his work, because there will be no music from me if there wasn't the music from them. And I believe that if I'm working with Rocky Too Grimy, then my 50% gets split with him 25%, because my song becomes our song, and it's a we project now. And it's just fairness. And NFTs allow you to do that, because all I need is Rocky's wallet, and I can sign him his percentage. All I need is my producer's wallet, and I can sign them their percentage. And every sale gets directly to them. I don't have to do no paperwork. I don't have to do no accounting. It's all on chain. Done for you.
Oh yeah. So when someone buys it, it's just divvies it out into both your wallets?
No, it's not that it just divvies out, bro. It's like point of sale. You bought my NFT today for $5. $2 is going to my engineer. $2 is going to me, and $1 is going to someone else.
Yeah, right on. That's how it should be, right?
Every time. And I don't have to wait 90 days.
Yeah.
I don't have to register with ASCAP, to collect my royalties, because the blockchain's collecting it for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I've never personally bought any music NFTs, but I mean, there's definitely something there.
Well, you got the link, and what you'll find is you can use your card. I mean, listen, Google has Tip Link, Google Tip Link, and you can create a Solana wallet on Google without keys, just directly tied to your Google. They've made it easier for the average person to get into the space before you learn how to completely decentralize yourself. There's a centralized platform, and there's a decentralized platform. Coinbase, that's a centralized platform. MetaMask, Solana, they're decentralized platforms.
Mm-hmm.
One has more privileges than the other, but both are beneficial, because there's 7 billion people in the world. Not everyone's going to get on the same kind. Don't you? I mean, I'm 43 years old. I can remember the time before cell phones. I can remember the adoption of cell phones, and the older people got cell phones, and everyone that turned 18 got a cell phone every year. Every day someone was turning 18, their phones were getting sold. I remember when we stopped using checks and started using a debit card. And I remember the period of time that it took to transition through that. And now I remember when we kind of switched to a digital currency versus cash money. I don't carry cash in my pocket. Oh, cash is money. Dirty. It's dirty money. I don't want to touch it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's dangerous, to carry around a bunch of
So
cash.
so you take that same mindset, you know, emerging tech and whatnot, and think about it from this space. Eventually, 5 years, 10 years, or however many years from now, it's going to be widely adopted. Like I teach in high school finance and blockchain. I'm training 400 kids right now how to use the blockchain, creating an army.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Feel me?
At like a community college or something? Where are you teaching?
High school, 9th
Oh
through
yeah,
12th grade.
hell yeah, dude. It's
That's
like,
amazing because you're
Nice,
actually
nice.
bringing retail into the space, and you know it's inevitable that's coming. So you might as well get them educated beyond the,
yeah,
before the wave comes in.
yeah, and hopefully they, if they get taught how to protect their wallet and all that stuff before getting into the space, they'll be better off than most of us here, right?
What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go and see if Rocky's free to kind of step up. I really appreciate you coming on, Mose, and taking
Yeah,
the time
amazing.
to obviously show us what you've got, but also going a little bit more into NFTs as a whole. So I've got that understanding, and there'll be people listening in who don't have an understanding as well. So really appreciate you kind of going that extra mile to talk beyond your own stuff.
Thank you, man. It's a passion of mine, and London is one of my favorite places. I've been there several times, and I've always had a good time. Um, so I'm looking forward to coming back out there.
Yeah, well, you can also look forward to coming back on the show because you're more than welcome anytime you want, mate. And it's been great to have you. So thank you.
Yeah, for sure. One of the big things about this is we want to pull in people from that have different experiences in the space, and I think yours is definitely unique.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Uh,
We've only touched the surface, like really
yeah,
only touched the surface. I can share so much more, but I definitely want to hear from my guy Rocky. So I'm gonna mute myself up and continue on the show, guys. I appreciate your time.
No, much appreciated.
No
Like I
worries, man.
say, it's good
thanks,
to
dude.
it's good to save some stuff for next time as well. So it's great.
Yeah, we're gonna like really push and market for the next show, so we'll have a bunch of people in here. Should be hype.
Thank you again.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, no worries. What's up, Rocky 2, Grammy?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. What's up, man? Great segment with Mose, man. I finished my food, so I'm a little sleepy now, but I'm here, man. I'm here. I got my Kool-Aid, so I'm ready to talk to you guys, man. What's up?
Yeah, no, great. I hope we give you enough time to get that down, yeah. So, yeah, Mose did you a solid favor there.
Yeah, thank you, Mose. Appreciate you.
Yeah, so Rocky, can you just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, your background? Obviously, Mose talked upon that you've kind of gone to rap battles with each other, and he's basically saying he kicks your ass every time. Don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, just give us a deep dive.
Last year, me and Mose had a little, we had a little back and forth, but it was all, in the spirit of hip hop and competition. We had a couple of what we call versus battles, where basically it's catalog versus catalog, song versus song kind of thing, and you have judges and the audience vote. I took a victory. We had a rematch, and then Mose took that victory. Um, You know, so and outside of that, we had where some diss records were made, you know, shots thrown back and forth. But it's all hip hop, man. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop competition. That's what this stems from. You know, that's what we do. If you can't be competitive, this isn't the type of this isn't the type of thing for you. You know. So shout out to the homie Mose, man.
No, that's amazing.
Shout
It's
out to
thanks
you,
for
Rocky, too grindy baby.
I got to meet Mose last year too, and see him perform. Incredible performer. Um, it's dope, man. And yeah, we got some stuff cooking. He actually sent me some beats not too long ago that I got sitting in my email that I can't wait to jump on. So, we definitely gonna be cooking some stuff up soon.
Well, I just wanted to say, like, used to know each other, which is amazing. But like further down the line, when we get more people on who are doing similar things, it's going to be a perfect way for you to make connections as well as the visual, and that's why we're doing it. It's a way to build relationships beyond just a message. Actually talking to someone face to face. So yeah, like I say, make sure you both come back again on the show, and hopefully we can get a few more guests in with you, and you can make them relationships. But just moving on. So whereabouts are you from, and like how did you start with music?
So I'm from the Bronx, Bronx, New York. The birthplace of hip hop, actually. Um, as far as how I started with music, man, I've just always been in love with music. I don't really remember a time that music wasn't like important to me. I can go back as far as like memories of like me being like 4 years old in my room, like creating melodies in my head. Like that far back, I can remember doing that. So I think what got me into creating my own music was just the love that I had for music in general. I love music. You know what I'm saying? If when I'm outside in the street, I got headphones in my ears. Anywhere I go, any type of downtime that I have, I'm listening to music. So it's really just the passion for me. Um, I started recording. I recorded my first song when I was 11 years old. Um, my I started writing and recording at 11 years old. I actually, if you want a little fun fact, I actually went to Six Flags when I was about 8 years old, and my cousin and his wife, they've been together since I was like 3 or 4, and they're still together today. They took me to Six Flags, and they had like this recording studio in there, and you could go in, and they would like let you record and make a cassette of like your favorite songs. So back then I was like into like NSYNC and shit like that. Um, so I actually, if you want to be technical, the very first recording was me singing "Bye Bye Bye" of NSYNC at like 8 years old. Um, so, but yeah, but as far as like my actual own music, 11 years old was when I started.
Oh, that's great. Young Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, believe it or not, a lot of people, when they first meet me, you wouldn't think that, Rocky Too Grindy was like in sync and all these other different things, but like, I was raised a little differently. The way I was brought up was a little different. I was a little more sheltered. Um, my grandparents, my grandfather was a minister. I went to Catholic school, so I found certain music later. I wasn't really exposed to a lot of things that other people were exposed to. So like I was watching like Nickelodeon and the Disney Channel, you know, and Cartoon Network and shit like that. So the music that I was hearing was the music that they were showing on those channels. And that was fucking Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, NSYNC, you know, that boy band era and stuff like that. So that was, you know, outside of my mom's music, which was like Luther Vandross and who else? The Backstreet Boys, Brandy. I love Brandy. You know, so I was getting like, you know, the R&B. I got a lot of R&B from my mom. That's why I love R&B so much. And then like Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, like introduced me to like pop and stuff like that. And then I kind of like found hip hop when I went to other places. I would go over to my aunt's house, and you know they were playing like Jay-Z. It was crazy.
So what inspires you with your lyrics now, currently today? Like what do you use to kind of put your message across? Where does that come from?
It comes from my life.
Okay.
Pretty much everything that I rap about, for the most part, is like real. There are times when I can get creative, like you know, like I might want to just tell a story or something like that. But I'd say like 99% of the time, like the music that I'm writing is like something that I'm going through at that moment or something that I've been through in general. You know, it's everything, like literally everything inspires me. Like we can get off this call, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I might make a rhyme about Franco because Franco is fresh in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like literally everything that like inspires me. You know, like Mose could say something to me that I might remember, and I might put that in a bar. You know, so it's pretty much just like my environment, my you know everything that I'm dealing with at the time. If I'm happy, if I'm angry, if I'm mad, if somebody pissed me off, if you know I was out in the street and somebody said something dumb to me, I might write about it. You know, like everything that I write is it comes from what I'm dealing with.
So you're constantly walking around with a notebook then, yeah? Or are you quite good at just memorizing past kind of events?
Are you like Lil Wayne? You never
Yeah,
write
yeah.
anything down?
I'd say it's kind of like well, you see, Wayne, he doesn't write, so he kind of just like does everything in his head. But you know, I do relate to Wayne, and he is one of my influences too, a big influence for like younger me. And we're both Libras, and I feel like you know I can compare myself to him in that same kind of way because we have kind of like the same kind of sort of thinking. Um, and yeah, I feel like when he raps, like the things that he says, like I believe him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like I know you meant that when you said that. I know that was real. You know, there's an authenticity about it, and that's kind of like what I try to do with my music. Is like I want people to feel the authenticity and know that it's not just me writing something because it sounded good or because it rhymed. You know, like I want you to feel the music.
No, I get that. I think this
Oh,
is
yeah.
going to be a good opportunity for Franco to kind of play an example of your rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, and you guys could go with the. I see what you got pulled up there. I had threw something else in the chat too, that I think is a good example of a record. If you've never heard my music before, but y'all are more than welcome to go with whichever one y'all want to run with.
I'll get it now.
Yeah, up to you,
1
bro.
second. I'll send it to Franco now, so he's
Yeah,
got
send it to
access
me.
to it.
Send it to the chat, the team chat.
Yeah, right
No,
on.
I'm looking forward to
But
hearing it.
Yeah, because
honestly,
I didn't realize we were going to play any music, so
Yeah, we're full of surprises here, mate.
yeah, so I was like, oh, when I seen y'all play Mose song, I was like, oh, let me send y'all this because this is I feel like this is a good introduction to people who haven't heard my music before. And kind of like this is a timestamp. It's a literal timestamp for like how I started my Web3 journey. So I know that you guys are curious about like how the Web3 story and everything.
Yeah, that was my next question. But again, that's why we do these shows, because it could be a visual as well, and we can get something in front of people's eyes to kind of um, resonate with and appreciate at the same time. So let's
Yeah.
hit it.
All right. Cool. So this is "Don't Talk to Me."
My guy Rocky, he probably done passed out. You know what I'm saying? He's been dying for Chantel to hear the song. Then I'm guessing his phone died. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna hear about that. Hopefully it'll be sober Rocky, because I damn sure don't want old drunk Rocky, coming at me with his old crazy ass man. You know what I'm saying?
What is you talking about, man? All that mumbling and shit. Don't talk to me. Usually I don't give a fuck. Now I don't give a fuck more. Been dealing with slut whores, put me in an uproar. I'm back in this mind state like when I was 18. So disrespectful. Y'all people wanna hate me. I used to give a fuck. Now I give a fuck less. I'm coming for success. I dealt with too much stress. I dealt with too much death. Wish I could bring back deli. Cancer could have killed me. Niggas mad that I'm back healthy. Thinking about my ex. How I let her use me. Get me all depressed. Turn me to a new me. Forget about who I am. She almost made me lose me. Only thing good she ever gave me was that coochie. Can't forget about that dope. But on another note, I manifest my life. I'm never going back to broke. I keep a clown NFT. I will never be a joke. I done quit smoking weed, but I'm still with all the smoke. And anything I wrote, a lyric that I spit, there's something you could quote. I always had this gift, and I don't mean to gloat, but we have to admit that nigga, I'm a goat. Fuck you think this is, man, I'm done with all that hope. Forget about a wish, it's like the only thing I know is spitting bars and writing hits. It's like the only thing I know is how to give it to your chicken. If I don't know nothing else, I know that I'm already rich. I've been working on my mind, focus on my spirit. Chantel said she knows some real music when she hear it. I tell her that I'm grateful, and what would be the odds? I'm not even in the space. She comparing me to Nas, man, I made my whole year back in 2022. Now it's 2023, and I'm making bigger moves. Now I'm getting more streams, now I'm getting more views. I've been drinking more water, I've been drinking less booze. Ooh. I mean, I still take a shot every now and then, though. I got this Bud Light mom in the booth with me. I'm gonna take a sip of that real quick. Don't talk to me. I don't wanna hear nothing y'all gotta say at all. Shit speaks for itself.
Like the world can not on my watch. Nobody's sleeping on this. Yo, I swear, Rocky, you gotta tell us the truth, man. Are you and Nas related, man? I was just like, who is this giving Nas a rent-setting money to? I was like, oh my god, like this talent is not like a different level. What the hell is going on? Like, I really do not have words right now. Like, I can't. Y'all related for real. Like, it's a gene that y'all share. Like, it's something going on. It's something going on. It's something going on.
Hell yeah, dude.
I like it. It's like it is storytelling, lyrical, beautiful.
Yeah, man. Like I said, that record right there is a literal timestamp. There's so much in that record that's like special, and that was actually my very first drop as well, the first music NFT that I ever put out.
So Rocky, on that note, so what got you into crypto as a whole? Like, who introduced you to it, and how did you come around like the thought of putting music into NFTs? Because it's obviously for the same reason that Mose's done it, you know, to have a position, you know, not needing, you know, to pay anybody, record labels and stuff, and to build a fan base. But can you just go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so it's not quite as detailed as that. So like I was like what I was talking about in this song, um, you know, I was going through a lot of different things at the time and I was kind of just venting. But I'll go back to, I want to say it was 2022. I'm not really like a super social or like super friendly person like that. Like, you know, like once I'm cool with you, like I'm cool, you know, but I'm not like out here looking to like be friends with everybody. Like I tell people all the time, like I really don't even like people, you know?
Yeah. You're an introvert.
Yeah, you know, like again, like once I'm cool with you, like we cool, but like I don't be looking for that, you know? So
Yeah.
I've always been on Twitter. Um, when they introduced the spaces, I was like, man, like I barely like being on the phone with one person. You think I want to be in a room with like a bunch of people talking to people? Like that just sounded like horrendous to me. Um, but one thing that doesn't sound horrendous to me is, you know, I told you like I love music, right? So I'm on Twitter one day and I just happened to see a space that said something about music. So I was intrigued because I was like, oh, there are people like on these things doing music. So, you know, I went in there and I met some people and, you know, some artists and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. Like we were just all in there just like sharing our music and making a connection and everything. So that's kind of what got me into the spaces, right? Because I wasn't going into spaces before that. So now that I see that like there's music things happening in the spaces, I'm kind of just like looking for that, you know? It was never about crypto or NFTs. I didn't know what that was. Um, I was just a guy who made music who was just looking to share his music. Um, so I ended up finding this talent show, right? I found this talent show, and the talent show was within a community of clowns. This project called Life's a Joke, and my guy Audiomatic, he was hosting the talent show. And you know, when I went in there for the first time, I thought the vibe was like really dope. And they were super funny. It was the talent show was just like super funny. It's like you come up there, you do your talent, and the judges are all kind of like clown you. They're all wearing like clown PFPs and you know, mind you, again, I don't know what NFTs are or I don't know what crypto is. So I'm just in this room like looking at all of these clown people and I'm like, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm intrigued. Um, long story short, you know, I started going to that talent show week after week. And, you know, they always had prizes. And some of the prizes were NFTs. And I'm like, you know, I don't know what an NFT is, but, you know, the competitive nature in me, I'm like, I want to win one. You know, so I just kept coming to the talent show every week. Eventually, I started winning. And then I won some more and I won some more, and I just kept winning. Every week I go to this talent show, and I'm just winning NFT after NFT and after NFT. And again, I don't really care about NFTs. I don't really know anything about NFTs. But me and Audio got cool, and he was explaining to me like, these are worth money, and I'm like, oh, really? So then I started selling the NFTs. You know, some of them I probably should have held on to them because I probably could have made more. They would have been worth more later. Again, I didn't understand these things. But that's how I found Web3, the crypto side of Web3 was me finding that community. Eventually, you know, I started hosting that talent show with Audiomatic, and I started my own radio show called Life's a Joke Radio for that community. That's why, you know, like in the song you heard me say, I keep a clown NFT, I will never be a joke. It was in reference to the Life's a Joke community.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's how I ended up finding Web3. But even when I found it, I still wasn't like inclined to want to like make my own NFTs. You know, like that the idea of that kind of came later.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, it's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Do you remember what some of the other NFTs were?
Say what?
Do you remember what any of the other NFT collections were they were dishing out, or was it just that one project?
There were some other ones. I can't remember them right now because they a lot of those projects don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But at the time, like this was like around like that, you know, like kind of like that boom period when like everything was like up and people were making a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. The NFT world's a little different now. I'm sure you're aware of that.
You know, like when I dropped "Don't Talk to Me," like that was my first drop, and I did 100 editions, and I made a lot of money off that record. It was more. I made more money off that song than I had ever made at a job. Like, you know, like it was crazy.
So that community was minting.
Some of that community supported, but it was a lot of people. It was a lot of people. By that time, by the time I dropped "Don't Talk to Me," I had already been within the space for about a year, and I built up a reputation, you know, and you know I had a lot of support, and I kind of became like one of the biggest artists in the space at the time, you know, and I didn't know that I was one of the biggest in the space until like I put that record out and I saw the results, and then I was like, oh snap, like I'm doing things here. You know. So it was really cool. It was a real cool moment for me to just see like what I was capable of and what anybody could be capable of here, you know?
I think you just touched on a key point there. What anyone can be capable of just by putting some time, effort, and dedication, and also just being a genuine good person in this space. Anything is possible to achieve. And like I say, it's all about building relationships with good people around you. I think that's also really important, and not kind of being directed down a wrong path. You know, 99% of the people in the space, you know, who are actively daily will have got led down that path in the wrong direction. But I think if we collectively kind of make them bad people visible, then it gives protection to the rest that, you know, are still to come in. We're very early, and you're saying like NFTs, you know, they've had their time so much, you know, it was a good period then, but there's nothing to say that it's not going to come back. And like Franco mentioned earlier, this could be something what does bring NFTs back, having this music aspect built with inside them as a selling point, to have something physical like the MP3 back in the day. I absolutely love it. And have you got anything you want to add, Action or Franco?
Your mic's muted, Franco.
I was talking on mute again, or not?
There you go. We got you.
I want to show him something. Well, let me see which one it is. This one. Look who's your biggest holder, man. It's Beans.
Yes.
Yeah.
8.
He bought 8 of your records,
tracks.
Rocky.
Oh yeah,
Beans
I,
is the
I had
biggest
to
holder,
like,
man.
I couldn't. I'm just like, so everything is like really tiny on my screen.
You're good, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Franco, man.
Beans,
Definitely,
man. That's the Beans Death Wallet, man.
definitely, yeah, man. That was like, I don't know how many are left too. Like we're almost sold out. Like, you and JR pushed that over, like getting us close to being sold out. So,
What's your collection? What's the amount in the collection?
it was only 50. It's
Right.
50.
Okay. The
Yeah,
size don't matter.
but there,
Well,
I haven't looked at it in a while. So I'm not sure how many are left, but I think there's like, it might be like 20 or so. I know we sold like at least 30 of them, I think. So
yeah,
Yeah.
21 left.
What's the price of them, Franco?
Public is 0.25 Sol. And you can also mint it in Legend. That's what is this? About 500,000 Legend.
There you go, guys. Anyone viewing, you've got a price there, you've got a location, and you can also use Legend. So
Also,
yeah,
do
I have
Tiny,
it-
Emerald, Cafe, Bitcoins.
how much it costs in like actual, because like, so the thing is, like, even when I set a price, because the crypto goes up and down, the price changes with that. So like I could set something for $10, and then depending on like if Solana went up, like it might go up to like 14, or if it went down, it might go down to $8. So I don't know in reality right now,
Yeah.
the actual price, but I believe what I had originally set it at, I believe it was like 20 in Solana, and then I think it was about 15 with the community tokens like Legend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I
so
appreciate you doing that.
that's what I always do, is I always, all the tokens that I attach, you always get a discount. So there's an incentive to want to use those tokens. That's, to me, that's, a way of showing, to get visibility on the other tokens like Legend, to say, like, somebody might say like, hey, I want to get this Rocky track. They never heard of Legend. They know what Solana is, but they're like, hey, I don't want to pay $20-$30. You mean I can get this half off if I invest in this? So they'll go, go get some Legend, and you can go get that, at a discount. So that's put on my drops.
Just while you're on that, I'm going to highlight a key aspect as well, which it'll be the first time we've announced publicly, is that the Legend token is going to be the method of payment for all future shows for Beans and Baloney down the line. So what that'll mean is every time we get a project coming onto the shows, they will purchase them tokens and give it back to the dev JR, and that goes onto the chart, obviously. So it's a good project to obviously get a position in if you don't. But what we always say is, come and check out the Telegram, join both the Beans and the Legend Telegrams, and just get a vibe, get a feel for the project, see what we're doing. And if you want to buy a bag, buy a bag. If you don't, you don't. But it's great to have new people coming in who we can, build relationships with and just have a general feel good with as well. So just wanted to touch on that. What have you got coming down the line, Rocky? Have you got anything in the short term that you're wanting to kind of put out?
Honestly, there's nothing like, because I got things that I'm working on, different projects, but I don't really have any like certain timetables for any of them.
Can you tell us the project? Who you like? Give them a shout out and who you're representing.
Yeah, shout out to the homie Pokemon, man. He's a real dope AI artist. He created a couple of characters. He has two male characters, and he created a male rap artist, a male R&B artist, and a female R&B artist. So what me and Pokemon are doing is I'm working with the female artist. Her name is Tessa, and we're doing a series of EPs that are going to be based on like the Pokemon video games. So I don't know how much you guys are into Pokemon, but they had red version, blue version, yellow version, crystal version. So each one of the EPs is going to be named after one of these versions. They're going to be short EPs, only four songs on each EP, and they're all going to have like a theme. So we came up with that idea last year, and we're going to be doing that exclusively with DigiJoints. So it's going to be fun. That's just like a little fun side
Mm.
project for me to just because I'm not doing AI music. You know what I'm saying? Like all the stuff that I do is cool, but um, seeing someone like him, like he writes all the music, he produces all the music. So just bringing his pen and putting the voice of Tessa to it, me and him are like together coming up with all the concepts. Like I'll hit him up and I'll be like, yo, I have an idea for a song. I want Tessa to sing about this, and I want the beat to sound like this, and it should be this long. And so it's just a real fun, collaborative project that we can just have fun with. So I'm really excited about that. Myself and Thanos, we got the Supervillain album coming at some point. It was supposed to be out a long time ago, but we had a lot of things that like kind of sidetracked that. We've been working on that album for about 2 years now. I want to say. I think we started it in like late 2024. So we're still working on it, and if all goes right, it should be out sometime later this year. And just a bunch of collabs. I got tons of collabs that I'm doing. Obviously we spoke about Mose. Got to get some music in with him. Um, a lot of different things, man. A lot of different things. And I'm working on stuff now. I told you I got some some beef happening right now too. Some things to handle. So
How do you
um,
handle that? Do you handle that verbally?
yeah, I mean, we handle it however we gotta handle it, but you know, right now we're talking musically. We're talking musically right now. It could go other places. Based off the things that are going to happen, it could veer off into another lane. But right now we're talking music. So um, I would probably say it's a safe bet that the next thing that I do release will probably be in that realm, and because it'll probably be in that realm right there. So.
Is this person in crypto as well? Because it would be great to have you both on the show, actually giving the beef out. Like I'd be all
Well,
for
listen, I'll tell you, that wouldn't work. I'll tell you that. That's not gonna be the way you got like you got me and Mose up here. It's not gonna be
that.
that.
Jeremy Springer.
It's not gonna be the same thing. But yeah, no, there's no one particular person, man. I have quite a few enemies out here. I got quite a few haters out here, and that just comes with the territory, man. Like not to toot my own horn or anything, but like we were talking about how long I've been in this space, and some of the things that I've done in this space. I've had a lot of accomplishments and a lot of success out here, and dare I say, I have been kind of like the guy, like for a while, as far as like Web3 music is concerned. I'm like, I'm up there with like some of the peoples whose names that ring bells, the Violettas, the Nessies, the Sammy Ariagas. I'm in that conversation, so There are people
I
out there.
I have got a question for you, which
Yeah.
I think is actually quite a valid question. So, just earlier on, you were talking about, it's not AI. How much do you feel like AI is gonna somewhat change for you, like change your industry of work? Does it affect you massively?
No, it doesn't affect me at all. And that's why I don't really understand like the outcry that a lot of people have. Like, there's some people where I'm just like, oh my God, this AI, I hate it. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing the project with Pokemon, because I'm embracing, like, instead of being against it, like I'm working with the AI. I'm not actually doing the AI part of it. I'm still the human.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
you're
so
blending the two.
yeah, so I'm not doing anything outside of, like, if Mose sends me a record and he has a female chorus on it, you know what I'm saying, and then I go and I rap on it, there's no difference from Pokemon sending me the record with Tessa on it and me rapping on it. There's literally no difference in that.
So you feel like it can work well hand in hand,
Yeah, like, so for me, I like it when the AI is being humanized and being
Okay.
used as a tool. And that's what Pokemon specifically does. He humanizes it. There are people out there who are just literally just like telling the computer make a song,
Yeah,
That's not,
that's what I was asking you about mainly, like your thoughts on that. And
yeah, I mean, I don't like that. I mean, like, cause look, you could tell the difference, right? Like, I can tell AI music that doesn't have any like real passion or anything put into it, because it just sounds very generic. But when you listen to like the music that me and Pokemon are doing, you listen to that, you can't tell that that's a computer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't actually know that. That's because he's writing. We're coming up with, these are human concepts that
yeah,
we're
you've
putting.
got the emotion in it. You've got the
Yeah,
passion and the emotion in it, where instead of it's just being text and
yeah,
just nothing
exactly.
true behind it. Okay.
Yeah. So that's my thing, is like, I feel like if you're a talented individual, nobody can take your talent away from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, if you're Michael Jordan, it's like, because somebody else is good at ball, does that mean that you magically stop being good at ball? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, the AI is here. AI is gonna take over the radio. Nobody's gonna want to listen to us anymore. That's not true. I'm still me. I'm
Yeah.
still just as good as I've ever been. I get better every single day. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, no, I asked the question mainly just for like the people listening in below, because I think it's also important to like put the message across that it is still worth chasing ambitions, even though this AI's arrived. And in some areas, AI's ruined it. Like, you look at people who artists, and now AI to make some content, like with a drawing or a picture, it's used more than the go-to person who's really good at doing pencil drawing. You know what I mean? Because it's quick and easy, and it's I don't
Yeah.
like it.
There's
It's
downsides
sad.
to it though. Like, it's really hard to. I mean, there's people that are really good at using some of the AI tools, right? And the AI tools are getting better, but like really getting, I've messed with some AI art stuff and really getting exactly what you want and like having continuity, like having a character show up in different scenes and have them look identical, stuff like that. I mean, it's getting better and better, but like, what Rocky's saying as far as the human aspect, you can tell, like if you're talking to an AI, you eventually you'll figure out that it kind of doesn't have a fucking soul, right? Like there's something there, and humans are, I think, aware of it, and there might be a point where it'll be unnoticeable, but I don't think we're there yet. And then also there's AI tools that can kind of figure out if it's made with AI. So yeah, and the way Rocky's using it, there's advantages to it for sure. I think like saying it's bad and not using it or not even like entertaining the idea of it is kind of dangerous, right? You could put yourself in a hole that you don't want to be in, because it does have value. And like for instance, as far as art goes, because I feel like I know more about that than the music, you could like put in an idea like, hey, I've got an idea for this character. I want him to like, I don't know, kind of look like a rogue or something with like a hood up, and you can have it spit out like 20 different things, and you could like go through and pick the ones that you like and then take that and create your own version of it. You know, instead of just using the exact output that it's giving you. I don't think that's, I hope AI isn't used that way as much as it is right now, but
yeah, I brought it up because obviously there's a lot of people in the space as well who rely on their work as a living, and some people struggle now in terms of making a living anymore and doing what they're doing because there is AI there. And I just wanted to know if it affected his industry in any sort of way, or if he saw it as a pro rather than a con. And like I said, it makes sense to obviously take advantage of it because you know that's what the times are moving as. If you're not with it, you're going to get left behind. So yeah, no, really appreciate that, Rocky.
Yeah.
What we are going to do now is just kind of give some final comments before we kind of wrap the show up. But on behalf of myself and the Beans and Legend team, I really appreciate you taking the time tonight to kind of come on and kind of showcase like your work, but also give a little bit of an insight into you guys personally. It's been great to meet you because I've never met you, and I've learned a little bit about NFTs as well, which is also great. You know, having a reasoning behind what you've done, I think it's brilliant. And yeah, like I say, it'd be great to have you back, and hopefully we can get a few more people in here who are of the same mindset and share that same interest, and kind of build relationships with one another, and even educate them and help them out along the way. So, have you got anything to add, Franco?
Nah, man, great words, man. We love you, Rocky. You're the man. It's dope stuff, man. Love it, absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all for having me, man. You know, and shout out to JR, you know, for making
Yeah,
this.
man. Much love, Rocky.
He's been, you know, very supportive and, you know, down from, you know, the moment that I was introduced to him, you know, so definitely appreciate that, and, you know, getting the platform, and, you know, we locked in, you know, so anytime that, you know, he give me the call, you know, boom, right there.
Right on. Right on.
Well, appreciate that, Rocky. Yeah, JR did good to get you guys on, and like I say, just stay in contact with him, and you know you've got a place on here whenever you need it. So over to you, Mose. Have you got anything you want to add and close down with before we wrap the show up?
Yeah, just you know, this was an amazing interview. You know, Rocky and I, we are two brothers from another mother, but we cut from different cloths. But you know, together we can be on some, you know, Capone and Noriega type of vibe. You know, could be a dynamic duo there. I'm not a villain though, bro. I'm a good guy. I'm just saying, I had a great time.
We all have a little villain.
Still need some good people.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, listen, you gotta have good guys and villains.
Yeah,
And then you gotta have the we need to make a good guy villain song.
There's enough villain in me for everybody.
The Autobots had the Decepticons.
There you go.
You know,
brainstorming already.
We gotta inverse it a little bit. You know, we gotta inverse it. But I'm definitely excited to cross the pond with you guys. We're in London. And you know, Rocky and I, we are New Yorkers. You know, I'm a Brooklyn New Yorker. I'm an upstate New Yorker, but he is a New Yorker through and through. You know, from the
Franco's
Bronx.
in the Netherlands, in Holland.
Netherlands is one of my favorite spaces. In our next show, I'm going to tell you a funny Netherlands story from the day that the Patriots played the Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. I was in the Netherlands watching that game after midnight. It was the most brutal day of my life. I'm not going to share it with you today, but just something for later. But
Yeah,
man,
share it next time round, bro.
I'm just excited to be here with you guys. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for giving me the platform to just share a little bit about who I am.
Yeah,
And a
we're
little bit
excited
about
you're here.
yeah, for sure. Beans and bologna, baby. Got a theme song for you guys already. The
Nice.
JR. You know, we're going to be finalizing that on Sunday. Thank you, JR, for not playing that tonight. It's not ready, but it's close.
Hell no, you told me what it was, and Franco has heard it, but the other two that you sent me, but yeah, nobody else has heard it.
But when it's
Cool.
done, it's gonna be a banger. So thank you guys, man. I appreciate your time. Make sure you guys have a great weekend.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank
bro.
you, guys.
Same, man. Same. For the artists, we have something coming. I think in a week or something. Look at this. This will make it a little bit more interesting. Check this out.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Wallet.
Yeah.
No.
I see a spin the block in there. I saw it.
Just like
Oh,
MP3 player, but then for NFTs.
for NFTs, yeah.
Without
Nice.
wallet connect, only wallet reading. This is old video, the newest.
She hit me on Tuesday.
Very nice.
I need it the next day. Banged up, I need an X-ray. Right down the bottom with a men's play.
Take the video.
There's
There's NFT player. There's the DJ radio stream right in it.
Fresh year, stepping out on tear. Niggas, we tryna ball out and go all out with no mid-kill. Simply put it don't make sense like empty footage.
Because for me, it's weird that people listen to NFT music with an open wallet. That's crazy, man. That's not how it should be. And we have a player coming that makes it way easier.
I was going to say you've just shared a bit of alpha there, Franco.
That's
What
alpha,
maybe
yeah,
even the
man. That's
Beans
alpha. It will
community
be on the
doesn't know.
Google Store and the Apple Store. But it's a
Well,
free version and a subscription version.
That's why you got to tune into the shows.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
sure.
I seen a spin the block in that wallet. I don't know who wallet that was.
Yeah, you saw that, right?
I saw that.
You saw that. Yeah, that's a dope track, man. I love that track, man.
I peeped gang.
Right, guys, we're gonna wrap things up now. Action, you close down the show, brother.
I really appreciate you guys having on. This is just a rough draft or kind of a warm up. We worked out a few of the kinks, I think, and everyone's getting more comfortable on the platform. But yeah, you guys are the man. I appreciate you coming on. It's really nice to have different experiences in the Web3 space and hearing about the real world stuff you guys got going on. It's really refreshing to see people having different experiences than the stuff me and Franco and Shane have gone through, so, and JR is included. So yeah, that's fucking awesome. I love that you guys are utilizing crypto in that way, and it's benefited you, and it's going to continue to benefit people. So, and Franco, that's some fire shit that you put together as well. But yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys in the Beans chat and all that. And yeah, it's all about networking, right? Like, it's hard to be successful in any business without networking.
True.
Let's close it down, Franco.
What? Close it down. You ready?
Yeah, peace.
Hey, let me say something real quick. Mose, Rocky, man, you two, y'all are my guys. I mean, y'all, first time I heard both of y'all's music, man, I was like, that shit is fire. So that's all. I really appreciate you guys coming on and working with me and, collaborating with me and collaborating with Franco and Shane and Action and, welcome to the family. Cause that's what we all are. So Man, I appreciate you guys though. Y'all really fucking came out and showed out. So, I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better, man. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it.
For sure, man. Likewise.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night. Take care.
DJ radio, trenches on the radio. Radio, 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 radio. DJ radio, trenches on the radio. Radio, 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 radio. Yo, static hits like a corner store prophet. Spitting truth through the speaker, no profit. 92 BPM, knocking boots on the concrete. Why the feds trace signals they can't delete? Horn stab cut, that's the truth in the cut. Crypto flickering green while the world's on shut. Ain't no playlist, this a frequency war. Tune in or vanish like cash through a door. DJ radio, stretches on the